Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Well, the facts speak for themselves. 15.9% is the rate of youth unemployment for those aged between 16 to 24. That's 700,000 people. 946,000 young people aged between 16 to 24 categorised as NEETs. That's not in employment, educational training. An 11% drop in adverts during the 12 months from July 2024 to July 2025, in a staggering 14.6% increase under this Labour government in the unemployment rate of those aged between 16 to 17. And it's quite clear, when I go out and about amongst my constituency and talk to businesses, particularly small businesses that are functioning in retail, hospitality, leisure, the first rung on the employment ladder for so many, they are crying out. They are making it known loud and clear that the tax rises brought about by this government, rising energy costs, rising bureaucracy, are eroding not just their margins but their sense of confidence as businesses. And that perhaps is the most corrosive effect of all, because once these businesses are gone, the opportunities for young people to get on that first rung of the employment ladder diminish. And I'm particularly struck listening to comments across the chamber today, Madam Deputy Speaker, at what I consider to be the fundamental ideological difference of the two sides of the House, between my party and the government. And that is, where is wealth created? Where is wealth generated? Government does not create wealth. Government can play a role in catalysing the foundations of our prosperity. It is right that government leans into this and creates schemes where necessary. But at its core, it is small businesses. It's empowering individuals to take risks that will enable the economy to prosper. We see it time and time again. It's noble that the government wants to intervene to support businesses in creating jobs. It's noble that the government wants to create routes for young people to develop their skills to enter jobs of the future. But we're just not seeing enough hard action that acknowledges the reality of where wealth is generated. And I will give way.
I thank my honourable friend for giving way. He talks about differences on two sides of the chamber, and we've heard today that most of the answers coming from the government is, we've got a government programme for that. Does he think that most young people would prefer a rebranded government programme or a job?
Well, the best welfare programme of all is a job. Nothing will come close, both in terms of the earnings that people can receive in recognition and reward for their contribution, but also in terms of their self-confidence. And we haven't heard very much, if anything, during this debate about incentives for those to take risks themselves. Ultimately, every single business that employs people of all ages have been created by someone who's taken a risk because they've been empowered to put something on the line, whether that's capital in terms of money, it could be time. Every business, whether small or large, started off by somebody taking a risk. And our economy is becoming increasingly absent of risk. We're so risk averse, and this is only exacerbated as a result of the pressure being placed on businesses across the board, whether it is those rising employment costs, whether it's the rising energy costs, whether it's the rising bureaucracy. And we're hearing many organisations that are experts in this field directly critique the policies that have come from government. Centre for Social Justice, the Institute of Directors, the British Chamber of Commerce and UK Hospitality are all saying collectively that the choices made by this government are having a detrimental and corrosive effect on the employment prospects of society as a whole, but particularly young people. So I urge the government to focus less on work programmes, to speak directly with those who take the risks to employ people of all ages. Government needs to get off the backs of those who are taking risks. It needs to support them. It needs to be less burdensome. In the words of the Prime Minister when he was elected and gave his very first speech in 10 Downing Street, he said the government was going to tread much more lightly on people's lives. This government is doing the absolute opposite, Madam Speaker, and it needs to change.